Get ready to delve into the dark and haunting world of the Moscow, Idaho murder case. This disturbing horror story will leave you on the edge of your seat, but be warned, the information we uncover is not for the faint of heart. Are you brave enough to join us on this journey into the unknown? The risk is high, but the truth must be revealed. So let's start uncovering the Moscow, Idaho murder case. Moscow, Idaho is a small city with just over 25,000 people. But when it comes to natural beauty, it packs a big punch. Moscow is in the rolling hills of the Palouse region of the Pacific Northwest. It is surrounded by lush forests, rolling hills, and fertile farmland. The city is also close to beautiful rivers and lakes, which makes it a popular place for people who like to be outside. In the middle of Moscow, there is a lively downtown area with cute shops, restaurants, and cafes. But what happened on November 13th changed everything. The case. A suspect was apprehended by authorities in eastern Pennsylvania, more than 2,500 miles away, nearly 7 weeks after 4 students from the University of Idaho were brutally murdered in Idaho. A 28-year-old PhD student at Washington State University in Pullman, Washington, was arrested on December 30th and charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and felony burglary for the stabbing deaths of Ethan Chapin, 20, Madison Mogen, 21, Sana Kernodle, 20, and Kaylee Goncalves, 21, on November 13th. Kohberger is accused of carrying out the attack that resulted in Chapin's, Mogen's, and Goncalves' deaths off campus at 1122 King Road, close to Fraternity Row. Mogen, Kernodle, and Goncalves shared a 6-bedroom home with 2 other students throughout their time at the university. Chapin, who was in a relationship with Kernodle at the time, was spending the night there. The following information contains what is known about what took place before and after the killings, as well as the current status of the inquiry. The last post made by Goncalves on Instagram was on November 12th. Goncalves uploaded a series of happy images to her Instagram account at 8:57 p.m. and captioned them, "One lucky gal to be around by these people every day." Mogen can be seen grinning broadly while perched atop Goncalves' broad shoulders in one of the pictures, with Chapin and Kernodle standing nearby and smiling. Based on their contacts in social media, the 4 victims appear to be friends. In fact, they posted a photo with 2 other friends just a few hours before their bodies were discovered on November 13th. According to the authorities, Mogen and Goncalves spent the evening socializing at the Corner Club, which is a pub located in the downtown area at 202 North Main Street, while Chapin and Kernodle attend a party at the Sigma Chi residence, which is located on campus at 735 Nez Perce Drive. On Sunday, November 13th, 2 victims were seen at the grub truck. Mogen and Goncalves were seen ordering carbonara at the grub truck in the center of Moscow at 1:41 in the morning on a Twitch video. While there, they engaged in conversation with individuals in the immediate area. The identity of a man who was seen nearby wearing a hoodie and standing nearby became the topic of significant online speculation. However, the police later stated that this man is not a suspect. According to the police and their family, they were sent home safely at approximately 1:56 in the morning by a sorority driving service. Chapin and Kernodle arrived back at their house from Sigma Chi at approximately 1:45 in the morning. After a night out, the 2 female roommates who had survived the assault got back to their apartment at 1 in the morning after returning from their night out. They didn't wake up until late morning the next day. Inside Edition was informed by Olivia Goncalves that her sister Kaylee called her ex-boyfriend Jack Decor 7 times between the hours of 2:26 and 2:44 in the morning. He's no longer being investigated as a suspect by the police. The murders. According to the reports from the police, all 4 victims were hacked to death with a knife that had a fixed blade between the hours of 3 and 4 in the morning on the 2nd and 3rd levels of the house. It has not been determined where the murder weapon is. On social media, Madison, Mogen, and Kaylee Goncalves were seen posting images of themselves together. They felt that one of the victims on the 2nd floor had passed out, so the roommates who were still alive called some of their friends to come to the house. At 11:58 in the morning, one of the surviving roommates used their phone to make a call to 911 from inside the apartment, stating that there was a person who was unconscious. The police report that several different people spoke to the dispatcher. At 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, students at the institution were informed of the homicides and given instructions to shelter in place. The 4 people who were killed in a homicide spree at the University of Idaho have been identified as Madison Mogen, Ethan Chapin, Sana Kernodle, and Kaylee Goncalves, according to the police. 14th of November, Monday accounts that conflict with Moscow Mayor Art Betsy told the news outlet that the killings were a crime of passion before backtracking in a statement saying that this was one of several potential motives that were being investigated by investigators. According to this version of events, the murders were committed by the same person. Many of the student houses on King Road are known for hosting parties on a regular basis. As a result, the road was strewn with empty beer cartons and other items the following Monday and Tuesday after the killings. On the basis of the information obtained during the initial inquiry, the police stated that they did not have reason to believe there was an ongoing threat to the community. 15th of November, Tuesday, reactions from members of the community. In a separate statement, the police department informed the general public that this incident was an isolated, targeted act and that there is no immediate threat to the community as a whole. Residents of Moscow, students in the city, and families of victims have voiced their dissatisfaction with the inadequate and inconsistent information that has been supplied by governmental officials. The inability of the University of Idaho and the Moscow police to provide any information has caused much frustration for Ethan Chapin's family. Wednesday, November 16th. The information that there were 2 female roommates at the residence during the horrific attack and that they escaped unharmed was disclosed to the press for the very first time by the chief of police of the Moscow Police Department, James Fry, during a news conference. Fry did not provide any information on the person who called 911 or provide an explanation for why the call came in more than 8 hours after the murders. He also stated that there were no indications of forced entry into the building. Outside of the Mad Greek restaurant in downtown Moscow, Idaho, on November 15th, candles and flowers are placed at a makeshift memorial honoring 4 students from the University of Idaho who were killed earlier that day. His prior comments that the crime constituted no ongoing threat to the community were contradicted by his more recent statements. According to Fry, "We don't have a suspect at this moment, and that somebody's still out there. We're unable to declare there's no danger to the community at this time, and as we have previously mentioned, we ask that everyone remain cautious." He went on to say that the inquiry is being held by both the FBI and the Idaho State Police. November 17th, the results of the autopsy will be made public. According to a press release that was issued by the Latah County Coroner, Kathy Mubbott, the official cause and manner of death for the kids was determined to be homicide by stabbing. Insat, the police have a strong suspicion that one of the slayings of 4 students at the University of Idaho involved a knife in the manner of a kohberger. The house close to the campus that was the scene of the students' murders is cordoned off with caution tape. The fact that each of the victims had many stab wounds led her to believe that they had been attacked while sleeping with a huge knife. It appears that several of the victims fought back during the assault, as evidenced by the defensive wounds they sustained. There were no indicators that a sexual assault had taken place. But what transpires next will surely shock you. Be sure to stay tuned for the next episode. We welcome your perspectives on these heinous crimes. Feel free to share any additional information in the comment section. Until then, stay alert and we'll see you in the next video.